CC2s. This is Cycle 1, Week 4, Fine Arts. We are doing abstract art this week. I think that our second activity will take a fairly long amount of time. So I would kind of hurry up the first activity. The first activity you will find in your blue or red folder with kind of the great artists and the other pictures that I went over in that review. This is going to be some different abstract art that I printed out. This is one of those where you need to use it and then please put it back and in the folder because we'll use it again. There's no real right or wrong with this abstraction. Use those questions in the back. What's beautiful about this artwork? What do you dislike about this artwork? If you could change this artwork, how would you and why? These are really great questions that I think will get kids thinking, even the ones that maybe quote unquote don't like art or don't see anything in it. Really challenge them to do it. And it could just be one picture, or maybe you have two kids go off and look at a picture together and then come back and tell the group again, like 1 minute, make it really quick. But that could be another way to really engage everyone in the class rather than doing it in a group setting. So that's your abstract art, and I apologize, I'm sure there's some copyright issues that I took from that, and so I don't know who did them. I didn't put it on there, but just use it and don't reproduce it. The second activity, I hope it goes well because I think it's going to be so cool, but I haven't done it. So since we're doing abstract art, I really want to stress to kids that it doesn't, remember, we're not doing it for perfection, we're doing it just to try it and not master the techniques, but just test them and do them and touch and feel and all of those things. So please note to them that you can look at art anyway and you can do art anyway. It's just how you feel and how you express it. And tell that to your kids as well. The first thing is everyone's going to get a canvas like this. There are two sizes. Kids can pick either size. I would recommend doing the bigger size first, and if you have time, doing the smaller one. But I would probably do the big one first because I think that they'll need a little bit more room for what we're going to do. The little ones are just extra, so those can go home with kids if they want to try this at home, or if they just want to do something else with it at home. But there's not enough. There probably is enough for everyone to do two, but maybe not necessarily one big one and one small one. So you have those in the paper bag that I gave you. So you're going to take that canvas, this large canvas, and they are plastic wrapped. So take some time before class to unwrap those. So you're going to paint this whole thing a gray color. And you can either have a mom, if you think you have a really awesome mom who's going to be able to do that at the beginning of class, or if you just want to pre-do it at home, that's what I'm going to do. I think it'll just be a little less effort. And so you're just going to do it like just a gray, just a lighter gray. Definitely not dark. And I'll show you the picture of what we're doing. I can show you right now. So this is what we're going to do. So you're going to paint it gray first. And then it tells you to take some paint and make it to a melted ice cream consistency. So a little thicker, but you still want it. But you want it pretty runny. So you're going to take your Dixie cups and you're going to take the Crayola paints again. And I would just do like 6 colors and just have a mom do this ahead of time. Don't get recommendations from kids. I think it's just going to be too much. They can pick what colors they want to use, but I think it's going to be too much to get, what color everyone wants. And I think 6 is plenty. So I just do 6 colors, 6 cups. That's all you're going to need. You won't need more paint than that because by the time you get the water in it, it'll be it'll go a long way. So in this blue bin, I call it the blue bin, there are going to be these little tiny squirt bottles, and there's going to be brushes. There are little brushes all the way, they're falling out, all the way down at the bottom, and then there's the bigger foam brushes. I think that you can use both for this activity. I think they would both do really good, but just make sure if kids decide to use the big ones, they can't use them the whole time, or else it's just going to be a big mess of no color. So have them use these maybe sparingly, once or twice. And maybe they can just leave it in the color so then someone else can use it too. That's another option. So you're gonna mix up your Dixie cup of color. Let's just say I'm gonna do blue first. So I take a big swath of blue and I'm gonna go right across the top of this. And I would tell your kids, since theirs is gonna be laying down like this, maybe tilt it up a little bit. They could even move it around a little bit, and you know, it's not gonna be perfect. So they can do that as well, and they can kind of play with that and how much paint they put on, and did they not put on enough, and those kinds of things. Then they're gonna dip either another brush or one of these smaller brushes in, say, a yellow, and they can do like this, where they just paint it down and it's gonna make one single streak of yellow. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding colors to it. And once you feel like you have a base of 2 or 3 colors, then you can get your spray bottle. Make sure a parent has these activated so a kid's not sitting there going like this for a long time. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna spray just a little bit on the top, so then the water, so it actually runs down even more. So it's like the drip droppy technique. So we're kind of making it look like rain clouds, but I don't want to stress that to kids because I don't want them to make it seem like that. I want them to be creative. And so one of the suggestions in the book was even turn it sideways and let kids take their dippy paintbrush and this way go. So then you're gonna have to start to have zigzag it, or you know, crisscross lines, and it's really not gonna look like that then. So let them be creative with it, but just, you know, rein them in to make sure that it still looks like something at the end, because if we are getting all those colors together, it's just kind of could look like a hot mess. So I'm going to go back to the book and just kind of review with you. So here they have it dripping, and then here they've added a green, but now they've added the spray to it, so it gets a little more drippy. And then this is what I was talking about with the single draft, where you press it down and it's just going to go down individually. And then they just keep adding colors on top of it. So try not to have the kids touch down here. They're really only gonna paint up here so we can get that drip going down. And to kind of cover up all that grossness, they added white clouds. We don't have time to add white to the top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take white Elmer's glue, and they can squeeze that on the top of their canvas where they kind of have all that paint up there. And then give them some cotton balls, and we have plenty, so they don't necessarily need to use it sparingly. My only recommendation would be, this is the normal cotton ball, and I already did this for you, but you kind of pull it apart. It just makes it look a little more fluffy and a little more cloud-like and real, and that's very easy to do. I mean, you're just pulling and you're moving and pulling just like that. And then you can kind of put it back together too if you need. So you're gonna glue that on top, and that is it for week 4. Good luck.